when life is great, but he's also there when we're walking through life's valleys, when we encounter things that we just can't handle on our own. We've been in a lot of those places over the last few years. I lost my dad to cancer. Our drummer Jordan lost his best friend unexpectedly. I have a brother who struggled with a drug addiction for over 10 years. People tried to reach out and help him, and he would just push them away. And I remember talking to my mom about it and saying maybe he's just too far gone, maybe he's never going to get better. And I'll never forget what she told me. She said, we cannot give up on the people that we love, because there's never anyone who's too far gone for God's love. And so we prayed for him and things got worse. His house was raided, the police found a meth lab in his home. He was put into prison, and his children were taken away. But that was his rock bottom. When he got out on his own, he checked himself into a Christian rehab, and he's now been clean for over 3 years and given his life to the Lord. Complete transformation inside out, and that's the difference that Jesus makes in our lives. And it's his love that can overcome anything. That's what this song's about. It's called Lift Me Up.
Waiting for the day, waiting for a sign that I'm where you want me to be. You know my heart is heavy and the hurt is deep, but when I feel like giving up, you're reminding me that we all fall down sometimes. When I hit the ground, love me the same. When I'm surrounded, when I lose my way, when I'm falling down and crying out, you are here to lift me up. When I am weak, your arms wrap around me, your love catches me, so I'm letting go. You lift me up when I can't see. Your heart's all that I need. Your love carries me, so I'm letting go.
God is so great. I've experienced that in my own life in the most amazing way. Last year, on Good Friday, I was traveling with my family through Colorado. It was a beautiful day. I was just chatting with my wife and the kids were watching Dora the Explorer on the TV. And a car pulls out in front of us. I wasn't paying attention. I had no time to react. And then we ended up slamming into this car going about 60 miles an hour. The force of that collision made our car go off the road. We ended up flipping over. We ended up upside down. I had so many thoughts rushing through my head at that time. I have friends who have lost family in that very way. And if that had been our time and God's plan, that would have been okay. I remember when I opened up my eyes, I had this funny thought in my head. I thought, okay, either heaven looks a lot like Colorado, which I would believe, or I just survived this thing. And I look over and I see my wife start moving. And then one by one, I hear my kids start to cry. The most beautiful sound I've heard since the day they were born, and they cried for the very first time. We all walked away from that accident that day. We're so blessed. And I share these stories with you because we all have stories. We can spend the next day just pouring our hearts out. And while our stories might not be the same, there's one thing we all have in common, one constant in all of our lives, and that's no matter what we face, God is with us, God is for us, and God will never ever fail us. And He gives us signs to show us that He's here, to show us that He's real, and to show us that He's not leaving when we need Him most.